Hey everybody, welcome. It is a very special episode today. We are doing an episode of Stash or Trash. It is the show where you get to pick what we create, and hopefully we get to create something together and not something against each other. So we are here with our special guest, Caro. Hello, go ahead, introduce yourself, say hi, let us know who you are.
Hi, so I'm Anya Carolyn, but I go by Caro on socials. I'm an artist and designer based in New York City, and I have my own brand where I post mixed media, tutorials, collages, designs, all of that cool stuff, and I design clothing as well. So I can show you my Instagram.
Oh yeah, let's check it out. Let's get a vibe. And chat, make sure that
Oh,
you are sticking around and you're hanging out with us on YouTube. If you're on Behance, thanks so much for joining us. But come over to Behance or come over to YouTube. We're going to be voting throughout the show, doing some live polls. So let's take a look at some of your work, and then we'll jump into what we're doing today.
so this is my page. It's Caro Crafts across Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. And basically, I just post a lot of like screen recordings of how I'm like making designs of like silly things like playlists or art. And I also transfer these things to canvases sometimes too, just like a bunch of little things like that. And I also, yeah, so like collages kind of like this, where I like put in photo shoots that I've done and designs that I've made, and I will like all collage it in. I've worked with Adobe a lot in the past. I'm obsessed with Adobe. Like if you follow my page, you know that I'm always posting Photoshop tips and like Illustrator tips. So that is a bit about me.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And a little bit about you, chat. There are a couple of you chiming in from where you're watching from. Hello from Phoenix. I know we have people in New York. We've got some friends in California. So let us know where you're watching from in the world. And let's hop in to make some stuff. And let's get kind of acquainted with where we're going today. And then we'll do a little test run to get everyone acquainted with how we're going to work today. So let's hop onto your screen and take a look. What are we going to be working on today? What's the vibe? We're getting spooky.
We are getting spooky. We're going to be making a spooky Halloween poster in Photoshop, and we're going to be using generative fill to like create the icons and the things inside. And I don't know, I just have like a blank slate right now. I just did a super basic poster, vintage, spooky gothic looking feel. And then you guys are going to help me decide like what characters I'm going to put inside and how this poster goes, and hopefully we make something beautiful.
Yes, I agree. It's going to be really fun. So let's do a quick test to
Okay.
see how the show is going to work. So maybe we are adding in a headline. Maybe the headline says boo. So let's go ahead and add just the word boo to our document. And chat, what's going to happen is as we go along, we're going to be generating images. We're going to be picking fonts. We're going to be picking colors. And so if we create something that is the word boo and we pick this font, at some point we will call out and say, chat, we need you to decide if this is trash or if this goes in the stash, and we'll play this graphic for you to vote. Trash, stash, or trash. Look at that. And you were going to vote over on YouTube. So answer the poll over on YouTube. The model put it in the chat, and you'll be able to vote to see what happens with our design. Do we like this font, or do we want this font to be trashed and us to move on to another one? So make sure to cast your votes, and this will happen a couple times throughout the show for us to decide. What's your opinion on this font?
I like it. I'm not sure if we should have a headline at the top yet. I don't know. I kind of want to like work on like the main design, like maybe
I
put a
agree. Yes.
scary
So,
character in the
yes,
middle.
chat is getting in the hang of voting. We've got about 20 people voting. So,
Okay.
oh my goodness, already getting attacked by the ghosts. We're haunted. So, chat, you understand how to vote over on YouTube. We all understand. We got it. This one was a stash, but it was a test. So, we are going to. All right. So, we got it. We understand. Let's hop in. Let's get started and actually start working on a design. Carol,
Cool.
take it away.
All right. So I think we should start with like a main central character because that's how I start all my pieces. I feel like it's like the easiest to build around when you have like one big thing in the middle and then you start to like add on things around it. So should I take suggestions on what kind of character? Like, should we do a cat, a
Ooh.
ghost,
Yes.
Frankenstein?
I love
Like,
that. Chat, let us know if there's anything that you want to see here. Like what are we going to go animal? I think animal based maybe.
I like animal. I'm a big like cat person.
Yes, I am. Do we just want to go with the cat? Let's just start with the cat to get us started, and then we can have chat suggest things on top of that. Let's do some kitty cat stuff.
Let's just try this out. So going to generative fill. Maybe I type in like spooky cat
Oh
and
yeah, let's see what happens with
something.
with a little spooky cat. This stream is gonna get too cute too quick, and then I'm just gonna like devolve into crying on stream.
Let's see what happens.
So if you haven't used generative fill, it is available to everyone included in your Creative Cloud membership. It is in Photoshop. Ooh.
Okay, there's some good options here. Okay, I think this
Ooh.
last one works really well.
Yes,
But
I love that. That it's very like it's a little Burton-esque, and it's got that kind of like old school illustration. I love that vibe.
I'm gonna do one more generative round just to see if we get like other options. But I'm already like really enjoying this one. Oh my goodness. Okay, that one.
Oh, that looks like a pug. That's very like it's like a skull pug.
This one is cool, but I'm like married to this. I'm loving this one. I feel like
I think that's really cool. I think that's a good place to start.
Okay. Should we vote on it or should we just go with it?
Let's keep it. Let's pick our. It's too cute to vote on. Sorry, chat. I know this is stash or trash. We're gonna lay down the stash card on this one, and we'll let you choose. We promise we'll let you get involved.
Okay.
Okay. Where do we want to go from here?
I think we should do like something in the background, like to frame maybe like scary trees or like cobwebs.
Oh yeah, I think cobwebs could be really fun.
Okay, let's try that.
Cool. So, chat, we're going to do some cobwebs and put them in there and kind of play around. We're going to lay a foundation, and then we'll do a round of stash or trash. So maybe after the cobwebs, we'll get a little stash or trash action. Chat was very suggestive about doing a cat, and yes, everyone agrees. Yay. Cat.
Okay, perfect.
Wow.
That's perfect. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm obsessed with cats. I have my own. I think he's sleeping under my bed right now, but I post about cats all the time. Shamelessly. Okay, we're gonna see if this works. I just kind of outlined the upper frame, and I'm gonna do cobwebs. Let's see.
Ooh,
I hope that's like a good enough prompt. Maybe I need to be more specific, but
that's what I love about using generative fill to like play around, and especially to concept, is you can just keep trying stuff until it doesn't work.
Exactly.
Just to like see what happens.
Okay, we're getting some interesting.
Oh, it's changing up the.
It's very cool though. It's actually, this is not how I expected it to go, but it's like really taking in the background that I already created and working with it, which is really cool.
I think it's interesting that it's like taking into account the style that is already there, and then trying to like replicate the cobwebs with that kind of line style. Yeah,
that's really cool. I'm giving it one more go. I did not expect. I love generative fill. Like genuinely, I play with this all the time, and it always surprises me. Okay, these ones are a little more abstract. This one was kind of cool, honestly. And
I like this one. It looks like it's kind of like old and dilapidated and like collapsing.
Yeah. For reference, this was the old version, and then this is how it turned it. I think
it's so much better.
This is cooler. This is like more spooky and unique.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. Perfect. What should we do next? Should we have people vote, or I think we should do like.
Let's do something that we can vote on. So maybe let's add in like something on the left there and start building in some elements, and chat can vote what elements we keep and what elements go.
Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna start.
And chat, let us know if you have suggestions for things that you want to see as a part of this poster. Let us know. We'd love to build this collaboratively with you. You don't get to just decide what stays and goes. You can also have input on what is being placed on there. And what are we going to generative fill in here?
I am just going to see what happens if I do spider hanging from a web.
Oh, okay.
So just like building in elements from like the ground, the floor, trying to make it more dynamic.
Yes, and chat is definitely saying spiders. We definitely want some spider action, so we are getting that.
Okay, this is getting somewhere. This is oh my god, that's really good.
Yes, I love that it's taking into like the line art style into account.
This is crazy.
Yes. Okay, so I think we like this spider. I think we're good. Chat.
That's good.
What time is it? I'll let you make the call, Caro. What time is it? Stash.
Oh, stash or trash.
I caught you in the middle of a sip, like a server. Everything okay? And your mouth's just like full. All right, it's time for you to vote on stash or trash. Can you point down for me? Let's see if we can get the point. Answer that poll over on YouTube, everybody. You can vote and let us know what is going on and what you want to see. Do we keep this spider or do we trash it and pick a new one? Let us know over in the chat. We'll give about a minute to vote. And while we let everyone vote, let's talk a little bit about you. Can you tell us about your history? We talked a little bit before the show. You recently have left a job, gone out on your own. You're doing your own vibe. Tell us about you.
Oh my gosh, of course. So I have been documenting my life for a couple years, but if you don't know me, I was working in the music industry full time as a creative director and producer. I was doing everything from like graphic design of like single covers and album covers to directing like full-blown music videos. And then I always had Caro as my side project and like my actual passion. And then at the beginning of the year, I was like, you know what? I'm giving myself the year and I'm going to chase my passion. And I've been doing it ever since. And it's been going so much better than I could have even ever hoped. Like, it's been incredible and I love it.
That's so fun. So we'll come back to that and talk some more, chat. If you have questions for our guest, let us know anything about maybe running your own business, being a freelancer, kind of creating a brand. Let us know. And as we vote, we will ask questions, do a little bit of interview here and there. But we do have about 18 votes in, and the winner is Stash. It's a... So we are going to stash that and then move on. I do think the spider looks absolutely amazing. We do have a suggestion from chat of something else to add. Do we want to take a suggestion?
Yeah, what is it?
Right. The suggestion is a fish or some kind of food bowl by the cat. So maybe we do like a fish bones or something, right? That it's like this cat just had its little snack with its little devious teeth.
Oh my god, I love that. That is so
fun.
Cute. Okay, let's definitely do that next. I'll add it in maybe here to the right or to the left. Maybe let's try to the right since we just did something to the left.
And what's great about what you're doing is you're making a selection of only the space that we want to put something. So when you're using generative fill, it will take up every pixel that you select. And so if it's too big, sometimes the subject will be too big. If it's too small, the subject will be too small. And so you try to have to imagine what's going to go in that space as you make the selection.
Maybe fish bones or maybe like fish carcass. I'm trying to think of like the best specific prompts to give it.
Skeleton, maybe?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, because it's going to be a mix of trying to dodge content filters and get a specific enough result. Because as I've been doing stuff with Halloween, it definitely has been like not doing zombies, not doing brains. Like a lot of the things I've been trying to prompt, it just gets hit by the content filter. So we'll see if we can meander our way around it.
We'll see what happens. I also overlapped it over. Okay, this is not bad. This is not bad. That's better. Let's generate one more time.
Yep.
I think we can get a little bit closer.
I agree. And chat is saying spider cat, spider cat. Yes, it is. You've heard of smelly cat. Wait till you see spider cat.
Okay, this is better. Maybe I put the number like two fish. Okay.
Oh yeah, maybe. Let's zoom in there so we can get like a full screen on the fish so chat can get a little bit of an idea.
I'm going to try this again because it's overlapping with... I just realized our cat has two tails.
Our cat does have two tails. I did notice that.
And you know what? I can actually just fix that really quick.
Yes.
I trim this off because now it's overlapping with the fish.
Yep. And I actually think that that is a great kind of testament to working with generative fill, but then using your own skills to take it further, right? We talk about it being kind of a creative co-pilot. It's something to get us started, and then we can kind of fix it up.
Yes. Okay, that was like a little, let me get a little bit closer of a shave there.
And Chad is also saying skeleton mouse would be fun too. Yes, those are great suggestions to add in. Keep those suggestions coming, chat.
I love the suggestions. Okay, let's look back at these fish. So that one's not bad. It's a little... The tail is throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah. Can you zoom in on that area?
Oh, yes, of course. Okay.
Okay.
It's not It's not bad. This is a little better, but it's still like a little... Should we try like a mouse too and just compare and contrast?
Yes, let's do that. Let's do a mouse as well, and then we can do a vote, trash or stash, and maybe we have trash be the mouse and then stash be the fish. So let's chat. We're gonna do two options here and let you choose between them, because a lot of you are saying fish, a lot of you are saying mouse. So let's pitch you against each other and watch the Hunger Games.
Incredible. This is so fun.
Yes. So if you do like this, chat, we are doing interactive shows all day today. Stick around. Right after this, we are doing a show called Trick or Treat. And with Trick or Treat, you're going to choose every few minutes if the artist gets a trick or a treat. So a trick might be losing access to the pen tool, or they're not able to use more than one color. They have to convert to grayscale. And a treat would be adding in Adobe stock, or maybe they get a full palette of color. So make sure you stick around for that stream coming up next. And at the end of the day, we'll do Choose Your Own Adventure with Wade Acuff, where you get to vote on what Wade Acuff will be illustrating. So interactive shows all day today. Let us know how you like it, because we're testing some new stuff here for Fridays. All right, so we've got mouse, we've got fish. Let's zoom in there and see what we got.
I'm just deleting the little background around it so that I can
Cool.
move it around like this, because I feel like if it was like this way, it might make a little bit more sense. Like that. I like this. I feel like I would want to make it black and white, or put like a threshold over it or something, so that it works with the rest of the piece.
I agree. I agree. Let's zoom in on those options and see if we keep the fish or if we keep the mouse. Chat. Okay. It's time for you to vote. We are going to do a fish or a mouse. We'll do a live poll over on YouTube. Do we want to keep the fish or do we want to keep the mouse skeleton? Which of those looks good? And we did have a question from chat that I think we can answer while we wait. And that is, once we've done generative fill on something, can we transform? Can we move that around? How can we work with generative fill?
Yes, you can transform it. You can do whatever you want to it, which is amazing. Like for me, I love using it in designs and then like completely altering it, like putting a threshold on it to like make it blend in with the rest of the piece. And like you can see here, like I can move it like that, stretch it around. I can put like a filter over it in the filter gallery, and that will make it change and look like a cartoon, or like make it look like a photocopy or something like that. You can change the color. Like it's really, really great. Like I love this feature so much, and I've used it in so many of my designs already. Yep. So yeah, even if the style doesn't look like the style you want right now, like this mouse, maybe we want to make it black and white. Like that's so doable. Like we can do that.
Absolutely. And can you do a favor real quick? Can you turn off all the other layers real quick? Because I think that we are working on a pretty flat background. And so when we do generative fill, you can't really notice it, but it is actually filling in a background. So you can see all those pieces we've generated filled are having background. So if you're trying to transform, make something transparent, you can go in there and remove the subject by just doing an opacity mask or doing a layer mask, but it is filling in that background. We just can't see it right now, but you can transform all that stuff. So it looks like our poll is finished, and the winner is the mouse. The mouse has won. Yay! So goodbye, fish skeleton. You're going into the trash.
Perfect. That is what I was hoping you guys would say.
Yes, it's our first trash. It's our first trash. We've broken the seal. Thank you. We wanted to play that graphic so bad, so thank you for throwing something in the trash. And now let's go in and let's maybe figure out how we can make our mouse kind of match the rest of the design a little bit. So let's see, how would we make that black and white?
So, well, we could also integrate like other things around the piece that are in this color scheme to like balance it out. But if we wanted to make it black and white, we could super easily. I'm pretty sure I already like erased everything around it, so it should just be a little PNG right now. But I have my layer selected, the little mouse skeleton layer, and then I can go to image, adjustments, and then go to black and white. That's one option. And then it's still like pretty light in comparison because it was pretty yellow, so I can turn the yellows down and it'll get a lot darker like that. So that's like an easy way to do it. You can see there's like still some little remnants around it from where it generatively filled in the background. I can just go in and erase those as well.
Yep.
But that is how we could do that. I could also, if I wanted it to look like the background, I could apply a threshold adjustment and like create a clipping mask over just the mouse. Okay, so
Oh yeah.
we see it's like there's still those remnants in there, and I can try and get rid of those really quick. But that would give it like more of a line art feel. Let me adjust the tolerance to be a little bit higher.
Yep. And yes, the chat is saying this was fishy business. I agree.
I agree with that too.
Rest in peace, fish. Okay, so yeah, so you can go in with generative fill. It is going to fill in all those pixels. So if you do adjustments, you do have to come in like this. But look, it's super easy. And for us, it saved us time from going stock, from trying to create this little piece. And maybe we would go back and we would illustrate this whole thing. This is really great for reference to have exactly what we want visualized before we go in.
Like that took me like 30 seconds to clean up the background, but we can also adjust the threshold and like make it lighter, darker. I love thresholds. I've been using them a lot lately, especially when like we're going for a spooky, dark, gothic feel. Like,
yes.
So what do you guys think about like this type of filter layer over it?
I think it looks cool. We do have a suggestion from chat to do an old clock, which I think is a great idea.
Ooh,
and I think that it's a little bit of a complex generation. So let's see if we can get it to match the style a little bit. And for this one, we're going to have you generate some stuff using generative fill in Photoshop. And then once we've kind of settled on something, I do want to show a little bit of Illustrator as well. So we can kind of back and forth on this one to do some different clocks. Where do we want to put the clock?
I'm thinking maybe like putting it here in the background and like hopefully if it'll generate like around the cat and like take in all that information.
Yes, let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Or should we stretch it all the way down? Let's just try it right here.
Yeah, let's see what happens. So sometimes, and again, this is generative fill of us figuring it out as we go. Sometimes it will paint over the subject. Sometimes it will ignore the subject and put something in the background. So it really is a kind of trial and error, and that is why the show is called Stash or Trash. It gives us allowance for generative fill to have some issues and for us to let you vote on it.
Okay, so I'm glad you gave that preface, like that disclaimer, because that's exactly what's happening. It is a little different, but also what could fix this is the layer that the generative fill is on. So I've been also like workshopping this. So let's just turn this off and just see what happens if I go down here and like start from this layer down here.
Yep, and I think this will work. If this doesn't work, we can turn off the other elements and then generate it. So I'm not sure, actually, this will be a good test. I'm not sure if generative fill always samples the entire image or if it's just samples the layers below it. So this would be a good test to see what it's actually doing here.
And I had the same question. Like, it seems like it's what's below it, but also, I don't know.
Yes, and thank you, Clever Dylan, saying, I hope that time is on your side. Yes, us too.
Okay. So, okay, you know what it's doing? It's because the generative fill on the other layers above it have like patches of like pixels around it. So if we were to isolate all of these, and I've done this before with designs where you have to go through, like for these cobwebs, there's still a bunch of pixels around them. You can see, there we go. See, that gives us a different.
Perfect.
So there we go. That does like fix it. But this is a really interesting clock. I don't know if it's like the exact style we want, but also remember, like, we can change the style of this. Like, I could put over like a threshold layer on it and like make it look more like a line drawing instead of this, whatever that is. But let's just generate one more time and see if like we can get it to look a little bit more, because I feel like I know what they're trying to say when they say like an old clock, like one of those old like grandfather clocks that are like standing, right?
Totally, yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking too.
Okay.
And it's interesting, yeah. It's not pulling it through.
Yeah, it's giving me like alarm clocks.
So interesting. Okay, so let's come back to that. Let's hop over to my screen and let's see what Illustrator can do. So Adobe Firefly is now in Adobe Illustrator as well. You can use text to vector. And so let's try to see if we can get a better vector here. All you need to do is make your selection, so just like a little area, and then we can generate. And let's do, what was your prompt that you did?
I did old grandfather clock. Is it on your screen right now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
sorry. It's over on my screen.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
And let's see what it generates here in Illustrator. So Illustrator's text to vector, completely different model from what is in Photoshop. And I am getting a similar thing, it looks like, let's let them generate, to where it's not doing the full tall grandfather clock, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
Something that we may want to try. Yeah, so I'm getting desktop clocks as well. What we want to try maybe is, maybe let's use the Firefly on the web and see if we can like copy an image there. Have you used Firefly on the web before?
I have not, but I've always wanted to.
Okay, cool. So let's do it together. Let's hop over to your screen and go to firefly.adobe.com.
Okay.
And chat, guess what? You can do this too. Everybody, fire up your browsers. Definitely stay here. Don't like leave. But firefly.adobe.com, and we're all going to figure out how to make this clock situation happen together. It is included in your Creative Cloud plan. If you have a Creative Cloud membership, Firefly is available to you. And the reason that I think I want to try going to the web app is because it's a different model than what is in Photoshop. So Firefly is model 2 at firefly.adobe.com. And so are we there? Do we make it, everyone?
Yes.
We're good. Okay.
Or I am.
Cool. So let's go
turn.
ahead, click out of that. That's fine. And then click on that text to image box, which is right there in the bottom left.
Okay. Here?
And then this is just like generative fill, exact same thing. We are going to type in a prompt. So let's try to do that grandfather clock again.
Okay. This is really cool. I didn't know
Yes.
this.
And yes, again, chat, the reason that we're doing this is because it is a different model and it's a little bit better than what is happening with generative fill. So let's see what it generates here and see if we can get a grandfather clock out of this.
Oh my god.
Okay, we've gotten closer. So over on the right there are a bunch of different filters that we can do. And so as let's kind of scroll through, and maybe we want to add in like line art. And I think at the top of that panel, you're able to choose illustration or graphic. And so let's maybe choose art instead of photo.
Okay.
And then maybe we add like line art to the prompt to see if we can get it to get that black and white.
Okay, so old grandfather clock line art, like that?
Yes.
Okay.
And I do, yes, Chad is pointing out that we did get a clock that was a grandfather, which is one of my favorite things that's ever happened.
That is the funniest thing ever. Kind of a good Halloween costume too if you're a grandfather.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, grandfathers out there, if you're watching Adobe Live, you're required to be a clock this Halloween.
That's a good one.
Yes. What is your, ooh, okay. So I think we got closer with these.
These are way, way, way better. Like this is exactly what I thought.
Cool. So which one of these is your favorite that we like?
Oh my goodness. They're all kind of good. I kind of like them all. I think either one of these two is like speaking to me. I think maybe this one is kind of cool, and to have it, I'm like looking back at our little design.
Yeah, I think it would be the easiest to composite in as well.
Yeah, I think this one.
So let's go ahead and click on that one. It'll open up full screen so we can see it. Yes.
Okay.
So in the top right, that little share, if you click there, you can actually just copy that image, and you can copy it and then paste it into Photoshop really quickly.
Copy image. Let's get rid of this clock.
Bye. Thanks, clock. We just voted to trash.
Okay, amazing.
And there we go. So it's pasted in. So really easy, seamless between the two. And again, you could use generative fill in Photoshop, but the Firefly on the web is the Firefly 2 model, so it's a little bit more advanced.
This is amazing.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So let's mask that out, add it in there, and then we can continue on with our composition. Chat, what else are we missing? Let us know.
Oh my gosh. Let me just... Why is it giving me the generative fill thing? Every time I click on
Contextual toolbar. What fun. Yes, the contextual toolbar, chat, if you are using it and it's bouncing around or it gets in your way, if you click on those little three dots, you can pin it to a location. And that's what I do every time.
I did
yes,
not know that. That would be amazing because it is always popping up for me.
Yes, it does tend to like be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But if you click on those little dots, then you can make it so that it is locked somewhere. You also can hide it, turn it back on and off pretty easily. And there we go. We got it masked, and it's looking pretty okay.
We can hide it behind all this good stuff. And let's like let's get rid of that layer around the spider. So now it's like a little hard to see, but trust, we'll like work around it. We'll bring it back.
Yes, and we have about 25 minutes left in the stream, so we'll get the elements in, and then we'll definitely spend the last like 10 minutes or so kind of just refining, pulling everything together. And another suggestion from chat. Do we want another suggestion?
Yes, always.
Let's do it. The suggestion from chat is bats. Chat would like a bat, a chat bat.
Ooh, I think bats.
Yeah, I think it's going to fit this. So let's see if we can get some bats in there somewhere, and continue to make our evil cats in the most spooky scene. Okay.
Should I create this in line art first, or should we just go to the bat?
Ooh, I don't know. Let's try both.
Okay, let me just really quick put a little clipping mask over the clock, just so it makes more sense in my brain when I see it. So this is like better. Okay.
Yes. And it is helpful if you are like concerned about things generating and looking a little bit different. Putting an adjustment over all the layers usually brings it together. Whether it's a gradient map or levels or threshold, just throw it over and it will help to kind of pull everything together usually.
Yes, completely second that notion. All right, so let's get batty. Let's get batty. I love bats. So we should have, I'm thinking, should we have some flying around? Yeah, let's have some flying around. Okay, so I'm just gonna select like a big area, so hopefully it gives me like an arrangement of bats flying around.
Okay.
What happens? Like bats flying?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Let's just see what happens.
Yep, and after we try this too, something that you can do that I don't think a lot of people know, you can generative fill to multiple selections. So if it gets a little bit weird and wonky here, we could make a bunch of... That's not that weird and wonky.
That is not weird and wonky. I honestly thought it would be a little bit weirder and wonkier, but
yes, I was nervous too.
I was a little nervous. Wait, this is not bad at all.
No.
This is actually like coming together.
Yes, it's definitely getting spooky. But what you could do is you can make multiple selections, and that will allow you to kind of pick the pieces. And it looks like we have initiated a trash or stash on a chat bash trash or stash.
Okay.
Chat bat trash or stash. Whew.
Okay.
We got there. So chat, what do you want to do? Would you like to trash these bats or would you like to stash these bats? Which one?
These are so spooky. Look at the details on these.
They are. And they're little Cyclops bats.
I didn't even say spooky bats, and it gave me spooky. It's like it knew what was going on. Like it read the vibe, it read the room, and it was like, let's make these bats a little spooky.
That's so fun. So yes, chat right down here. Answer the poll over on YouTube. The mod is going to put the link for you there so that you can vote as well. It looks like the votes are coming in. It's a bit in the stash zone, but we'll give it another few seconds for people to vote. I do like these bats. I do also want to try the multiple selections with something.
Yeah.
So let's give it maybe another like 15 seconds, and I'm going to ask you another question. Mm-hmm. What advice do you have somebody that is maybe wanting to go freelance, is working in-house right now? How did you make that transition?
Yeah, so I feel like I was like thinking about it a couple months out. I would just start creating your portfolio and like strengthening that and making that your number one priority, and like making sure you have something that you can take out from your job and then like present to people of like, oh, this is all that I've done before. This is like what I can do. And if you're working somewhere that you're not making the things that you want to be making, don't put that on your portfolio. Like I would dedicate like your nights and your weekends, like as crazy as that sounds, to making these like passion projects that are actually in the direction that you want to be hired for, if that makes sense.
Yep, great advice.
Okay.
And we do have a final tally. 91% want to stash it. We love the bats. So it is a stash. Chat, you're being too nice to us. I love
was
it.
like emotionally attached to the bats already.
Yes, I am too. So we love the bats. I think that they're good to keep there. What's something that maybe we could do multiple selections and kind of put around? Chat, any ideas on what could be kind of like spackled around or something that would be in multiple places within this design? Kara, do you have any ideas?
I'm thinking. I think maybe like that would have been a good one. Maybe like pumpkins or
yes, pumpkins I think would be great.
Or like if we made like a background, like if the cat was like in a graveyard or something like that, or like in a hill. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, we could try to do gravestones. So let's maybe do like some gravestones and then maybe some pumpkins too. And so it's great with generative fill. You can fill multiple selections. So if we wanted to put 2 pumpkins somewhere, we just need to make 2 selections and it should fill each of those with its own pumpkin.
Okay. So, okay. I know what you're saying now. For a second I was like, I thought you meant selecting multiple layers, but so we'll go to the lasso tool.
Yes.
And we'll do we have to select one of these at the top? Like
no, we should be able to make one selection and then just hold shift to make the next one.
Oh, okay. Should I start a new layer or should I just?
Yes.
Okay. We're figuring this out together. Like
yes, I'm trying to think of what generative fill is going to do. Yeah, I think new layer is probably good. Okay.
I'm just going to start here, like gravestone like that. Maybe one here.
Yes. Let's see what happens here.
And then we'll do one back here.
Yes.
Maybe. Behind the cat.
Chad is definitely vibing on the gravestone kind of cemetery vibe.
Okay.
And so we may want to turn off the other layers before we generate, because I think it'll pick up the other pieces.
Let's go ahead and just hide the cat, the clock, all of that. Maybe the text too.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Should we really just like hide everything? Oh, not everything. Okay. Just the text.
Yeah.
I feel like
so let's see what happens if we put in like a cemetery gravestone or something. And see if it will pick those up.
You're right, it does pop around. Okay, cemetery. Did I spell cemetery wrong? Cemetery?
Chat, spell check for us, please.
Oh my god, why? Cemetery. Am I like losing my mind?
CEMETERY. All E's.
TERY. Okay.
I put an A in there for sure.
Okay. For a second, I was like, wait a second. Why is it wrong? Okay. Generate.
So in theory, what it should do is generate a headstone for each of those. I have done this with like bubbles and puddles and stuff, and it does a great job at those. Oh no. Okay. It did one.
I think it's okay. Maybe it is hidden by something. No, but it's at the very top.
Yeah, I just don't think it's generating all 3.
Interesting.
And it's pulling through like the line art of the background.
I wonder if we really just need to turn all layers off, like everything.
Let's give that a shot and see if that helps.
I don't know what that is. Let's just try it again.
Yeah, let's see what happens. And again,
everything, and I'll just put like a white background. Okay, so yeah, that's where the cemetery was. Let's just delete that and start over. And let's also hide the cobwebs.
And yes, someone in chat is saying it all comes back to the webs. Yes, it has.
Yes, it
Those
does.
are really good.
So let's just do like a plain white background. But this is cool because we're figuring it out together. It's exciting. All right. Let's try this again. All right, I'm going to lasso. And then I think my gravestones were like right about here.
Yes. And I may be leading you astray that it is not going to work well with the multiple selections. So if it doesn't work after this one, then maybe we can just generate multiple gravestones. Okay. But in theory, I've done this before with bubbles. I've done it with puddles. I've done it with leaves. So let's see if it works.
Okay. Should I do maybe gravestone or gravestones? Because we're doing multiple.
I think plural.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see
All right.
what happens.
Guys, cross your fingers.
Chat, this is the fun of using generative fill on the live stream is we don't even know. Usually we're able to like teach you like, here's where we're going. And we're like, we have no idea where we're going. It's all a mystery.
Like, this is the real, okay, this worked.
We did it. Okay, so it was the other layers that were interfering.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes. Oh my
Sweet.
God. I feel like these match the vibe. Let's just do one more generation.
Just in case. There's always 6. Like, even though it gives you 3, you're like, we're gonna do one more just to test it.
I have done up to like 30 because I'm just like, I want to see all the options when I have like time to kill.
Yep.
You just want to see every single one. It's so fun to see what it comes up with. Okay, this is cool. This is definitely, oh, I like this. I like that it has like inscription. So maybe we can adjust this. I want to adjust it and say cemetery gravestones with called inscriptions, right? Or what is it called with like text? With text?
Yes, there is a word for what they're called, but I don't remember.
Yeah, what is it called?
Chat, please help us. What is it called?
Heading?
The text on a gravestone. I know that there is a specific name for it. Wow. And someone in chat is saying, yes, be sure to align it to the dead center.
That's funny.
Love it.
The chat, really? I wish I could see the chat because I'm sure I would get along with everyone.
Epitaph. Epitaph is what it's called.
Epitaph?
An epitaph.
That's not what I thought it was called. Let's just...
Yes. It is epitaph. Thank you, chat. And someone saying it's inscription, engraving. Okay. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I think engraving. Maybe engraving would be for what we want on this.
You're right. I already said epitaph. So let's just see what happens. Epitaph. It's like, okay, honestly, this is perfect. It is going to be gibberish, but that's fine because...
Yeah, it's totally fine for the style we're going for.
Yeah. I think this one is pretty solid.
I agree. Let's put it into the composition and see how it works in the composition. And then chat, we'll let you vote on a trash or stash on the gravestones once we kind of get them into the overall look of everything that we have created so far.
Okay. This is going to take me a minute because I have to just like...
Mouse.
Ooh, not the fish.
No, he's in the trash. Sorry. A zombie fish. He's back from the dead.
Oh
he climbed out and flopped his way out of the trash.
So spooky.
This is really fun, kind of seeing the layers that we've built with. And then chat, I think that this might be one of our last trash or stashes because we're going to start pulling it together in the end. We'll probably let you choose on some colors or some text or stuff. But let's get all this in here. And once we get the gravestones in, chat, we're opening up the poll for you. Do we want to keep the gravestones or trash them? Is it stash or trash? We'll leave it open as we kind of start to pull stuff together. But it looks like we've pretty much masked out each gravestone at this point, right?
Yes, it will. You just have to trust the process because I'll have to go in and like apply the line art and then, you know, layer it correctly and space them out correctly. But let me just, I can just really quickly grab this one and pull it over more this way. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's moving within the mask still. Yes, I was gonna say we may have to like separate each of those into their own layers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they're all living on 3.
We can just see if we trust the potential here to like design with it.
Yes, and chat, it is currently 50-50. So we'll give a little more while for you to vote. It's a really close call. Answer that poll over on YouTube. The chat
division, okay.
There is division happening between chat on the gravestones. Whether they stay or go. We'll give it one more question for you. Let's do a question and then we'll close the poll. What's next for you? What's coming up? Is there anything that you're working on that's exciting that you want to talk about that is a project or a product or some merch or anything? What do you got coming up?
I have like multiple collections that I'm working on right now for like the upcoming seasons, but specifically for the holidays, I'm releasing a few new hoodies, which I've done in the past that I'm really excited to bring back. And one of these hoodies I'm making is like a culmination of every design and piece of art that I've made in the past year. And I think I'm gonna do this every year, where I have like a hoodie that just like has like little bits and parts of every piece I've made this year.
So fun.
And it looks, I'm really excited for it. I think it's gonna look amazing. So that's in production right now.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to close the poll. And chat, you
Okay.
have chosen to trash the headstones. Chat.
Oh
Trashed. Shame, chat. So I guess we trash the headstones, and then let's start pulling this together.
Okay.
And what happens if there's a stash or trash draw? I don't know. We haven't had it yet, but in the future we might. So we've lost our gravestones. Sad. Let's start pulling this together and see if we can get to like a little bit of a final look in the last 10 minutes. In chat, we will let you vote on more stuff at the end of the show. But our hearts are hurt right now. We need some time.
I feel like you guys didn't trust my vision. But that's okay.
The Behance chat is saying that they want to trash the YouTube chat. Let's not start a fight here. Let's. Okay, so what are we going to do to kind of pull this together? What elements are we going to kind of take?
So I just put a little threshold over the cat to make it darker, so it blends in with everything else better. It was right here, and since we don't have anything in this space, I'm just gonna move it over.
The shade. Since this space is suddenly open.
Since there's nothing there, I guess we'll put the cat there and like make it bigger or something. I feel like the cat should be more of a centerpiece, and then we can fix the text and figure that out there.
Yes, I
I'm
agree.
gonna make these like tips align with the bat and the cat. And
Ooh, that's a nice little detail to keep the eye lines.
yeah, I like to do that a lot, like little detail. I feel like it's not something that's like noticeable, but it's noticeable when it's not like that. Like this is so much more like freaky than this. Oh, I gotta plug in my laptop.
Yes, go plug into your laptop, and while we do that, I'll give a preview of what's coming up next. So right after this show, we're going to be doing another one, which this is a bad time to talk about it, chat, because you were ruthless. We're doing another show called Trick or Treat, where we have an artist coming on to create a poster, and every few minutes you are going to choose whether that artist gets a trick or a treat. The examples of tricks may be that they have to use the Pathfinder to merge everything down into one shape. A treat would be maybe getting rid of one of the rules or the sabotages that you have done, or they get to add extra colors, use Adobe Stock, use text to vector. So make sure you stick around for that stream. It's going to be so fun. Right after that, we are going to be having a Choose Your Own Adventure with Wade Acuff, and you'll be able to inform what we're illustrating using those live polls on YouTube. So I am a little hurt right now, and I do want you to continue to participate, but I am still in grieving for our gravestones. A question from chat for you. What font is the Halloween that we're using down there? I think somebody else might want to use it for something.
Yeah, it is called, let me pull it up. Dark mode. It's called dark mode. So I think I'm gonna make it pop modes, because obviously it's being covered up by the cat right now.
Yes.
But yeah, dark mode, I just downloaded it from the internet, and it was free for personal use, I'm pretty sure. So definitely check it out. I thought it was really cool. I googled spooky fonts, and that is what came up. So let's see what happens if I do like a stroke. Oh, but it's behind the cat. Okay. I'm figuring things out. I'm like brainstorming out loud.
Oh yes. And someone, chat, please don't. Chat is saying, you know that we're just going to vote to trick every time. Please. Oh, hold on. Bad things didn't just happen there.
I think this is cool.
It got really cool. I love this vibe so much.
And I think I kind of also, this is making me want to experiment with like putting like a gradient map over this. And
Let's
like
do it. Yes.
Like, warm colors back in, so it's not just black and white, but this is like a good base.
It is. So let's do the gradient map in chat. That will be probably the last thing that you will vote on a stash or trash. So right now we're in this little black and white vibe. Let's add a little bit of flair, some gradient maps on it, and see the fate of chat of what you are going to do to the final design.
Yeah. Oh, they get to stash or trash the final design?
Not the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
Yes. No, yeah, right. Like, and the stream's dead. I think they'll get to stash or trash when we do, like, if we add any like color or do a gradient map over it. whether they want to keep the black and white or the color version.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
And chat, yes, please be nice to our guests today. You've been pretty nice during this stream. Just like, let's keep the good vibes going.
Oh, because this is a gradient map over. Wait a second, what's going on here? It was only doing. Oh, never mind. That's kind of interesting.
That is kind of interesting.
That's kind of cool. But no, let's see.
What we could do as well here, if we want to add kind of like a gradient in things, let's try this. Keep this going. I have a formulating idea in my head.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So yeah, what's happening is because it's black and white, so I reverse that back out. Yes. And what I would do here, if we want to add a gradient, is do a new layer and make a gradient over the whole thing, and then change the blending mode to screen or multiply, and it will only affect the black areas.
Oh my god. Genius. Okay,
One of those two.
Let's do oh, wait a second. I see what you're saying now.
Yes.
So like this.
Got it.
Like this,
there,
like that,
yes.
Like that, but we want to do not black and white. So
yeah, and add in some colors there, which I think you can just click on the line of that gradient, and it will add in colors. Like if you hover near the line of the gradient.
I want to see. It's like a better. Maybe this is a better gradient, and we can move it over. What the heck? You can tell I have not done.
Oh yes, no, you're good. You can stay on the gradient tool. So if you stay on the gradient tool, then if you click like under where the gradient line is, if you hover under, there should be like a little plus. Click right there, and then you can add in a color. So if you double click on that circle, then you can add a color on it.
Oh my gosh. Should we try like red?
Yes, this is a brand new gradient tool. And so then if you change the blending mode of that layer over in the layers panel, it's either screen or multiply, and I don't know which one it's going to be. But one of them, oh yeah, it's screen. One of them will go only within the dark parts of our composition.
Right, okay, so that would be screen.
Yep.
Okay. This is a new tool, because I was about to say, like, I have not known this.
Yes, the gradient tool is brand new in Photoshop. Yes.
That makes me feel a little bit better for being like, wait, what are you talking about?
Oh no, it has completely changed in like the last few times. So yeah, the big thing is everything on the gradient is on that line, and then you can click on the line to add a color, or you double click on the circle to change what that color is.
Oh, this is really cool. I'm going to use this more. I'm just learning about this now, but this is so exciting.
Yes, it's very similar to what was in Illustrator and just made its way over into Photoshop. But I'm definitely digging the gradient vibe on this over the black and white vibe. So chat, let's let you do one last one. We got about a minute left in the stream. So chat, this is the last stash or trash. We need you to vote. We got about 30 seconds here. And let's zoom in on that so we can get a nice full screen look. Chat, do you want to stash the red, or do you want to trash it and stay with the black and white? And while they vote, Carol, can you give us advice going into this holiday weekend for the creatives? How do we stay inspired? What advice do you have for creatives going into the holiday season?
Okay, that is an amazing question. For me, I get a lot of inspiration from music, but something I've been doing lately is actually unplugging the music, unplugging the podcast, all of that, like going for a walk where I'm like super, super mindful and like force myself to be like right there with all of my thoughts and like see what's going on around me. Especially I live in New York, so like if I walk outside, there's like always something happening. And I've been finding a lot of inspiration that way, and like really being mindful and like plugged into what's going on around me, and finding that that's been like inspiring me a lot more, and also like forcing me to think like, how am I feeling right now? Like, is that inspiring me to do something, or like what's really going on, instead of like always being distracted. I just feel like we live in a world of distractions, and that's just something lately I've been doing, is just like completely going
disconnecting. Yep. And it looks like, chat, you have chosen our final design to stash it. which is the perfect way to end the show. Thank you so much, everyone, for playing Trash or Stash. Thank you, Caro, our guest, for joining us. This was a great time. And chat, stick around. We have Trick or Treat coming up next. Please be nice to that guest. It's going to be a great time. Stay around. Watch all day here on Adobe Live all the way until 12 p.m. Pacific time. And we'll see you again for another stream here on Adobe Live. Bye, everybody.
Yay, bye.